Hey guys, well, a recent study looked at what the actual ingredients in supplements are versus what is advertised on the bottle. And it turns out you may be consuming something way different than you think you are if you're taking supplements every day. Dr. Richard Harris is highlighting this. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me on the show, Ivory. Good to talk with you again.
Absolutely. You're an MD, co-founder of Nimbus Healthcare. You highlighted this. I'll bring it up on the screen. JAMA, this was published in JAMA, presence and quantity of botanical ingredients with purported performance-enhancing properties in sports supplements. It's just one of the studies on what's really in the supplements. Tell me about what they found.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. So, my background, I'm also a pharmacist. I consult for supplement companies. I've designed supplements. I've formulated supplements. Supplements are kind of my thing. I love supplements, but unfortunately, it's the wild, wild west when it comes to supplements. And so a lot of people say the supplement industry is not regulated. It is. The FDA has guidelines called good manufacturing practice that companies are supposed to follow, but they don't enforce that unless they get a complaint. Right. So it needs people saying, oh, something bad happened when I took this, and then they investigate. They also don't check for dietary supplements to make sure things are safe or effective before it hits the market. And so these companies are basically on the honor system saying, we promise that what you're buying is what you think you're getting, right? And we know what happens with the honor system. A lot of times things go wrong. And every couple of months, we get a study like this one. This one was looking at specific ingredients associated with performance in supplement brands. And so what they wanted to test was, okay, number one, does it actually have what it says it has in it? And they found that 40% of the products didn't have that specific ingredient that they said they had in it. And that's not uncommon when you look at these types of studies. This happens, unfortunately, far too frequently.
Wait, so almost half of the supplement brands had 0% of the ingredient that they are telling you you're taking.
Yep. Wow. And that's not the shocking thing there is it's shocking how common that is. That these studies that are done, you see that over and over again, that multitudes of these supplements don't actually have an ingredient or multiple of the ingredients that they say they have. And just the opposite as well. They found that 12% of the supplements had banned ingredients in them. So things that have had safety or quality issues that the FDA had found, and they found those in these supplements. So not only might you not get what you think you're getting, but you might get something and you have no idea that you're actually getting it.
Wow. Yeah. Here's the results from the study. This really stunned me too. It says when the supplement did contain the ingredients that it said it contained, the percentage of those ingredients was anywhere from 0.02% to more than 300% of the labeled quantity. So you might be getting way more than you think you're getting, or almost none of what you think you're getting.
Right. And that can be dangerous, right? Because just because a supplement is natural doesn't mean it's safe or effective. And it all depends on the dosage, right? Things like foxglove is natural. Things like pit viper venom are natural, but these are things that we probably don't want to ingest. And most people don't know, most of our drugs up until recently came from natural sources, plants and animals. So it's really important that you are getting what you think you're getting as far as dosaging. And so to have that wide range is astronomical, because you could end up getting 3 times the amount of something that you think you're getting. And, having designed supplements and knowing about encapsulation and things like that, that process is not easy. It's not easy to get the same amount of a particular ingredient, especially the more ingredients you add to that formulation, precise every single time you're getting with the same amount, right? And the standard is 10% error. So you're allowed, let's say there's 100 milligrams is on the label. It's okay if some of the pills have 90 and some of the pills have 110. So that's within that 10% error. And we saw on this one, you had up to 3 times the amount in some of these formulations. It's significant error. And that lets you know that they just have bad manufacturing practices.
Wow. Were there any popular brands that people would recognize when they're talking about this?
That's the thing, they don't put the brands inside the studies, right?
Oh.
And so we know that not all supplement brands are equal. And one of the things I always tell people is how do you find a quality supplement, right? How do you know that you're getting a good product? And there's a couple different ways that you can tell. There are services like Consumer Lab Reports. They're an independent service. They test popular consumer brands to make sure that they're having what they say they have in them. They're not having other things. They're not contaminated with heavy metals or other things like that. So that's a popular service that you can subscribe to. Another one I recommend is examine.com. And I'm not paid by any of these. These are services I actually pay for. Examine.com will give you evidence to support that particular ingredient for a particular indication. So let's say I wanted to improve sleep and I go and I've heard about L-theanine, which is an amino acid. Let's say I want to take it, but I don't know if it works for sleep. I can go to examine.com, type in L-theanine, and then it'll bring up the evidence and the quality of the evidence for a particular indication. And so some of that you can get for free, some of it's behind a paywall, but it's a really good source for figuring out, hey, is there actually human evidence that supports my taking this supplement?
And then is there actually L-theanine in this little pill?
Exactly, right? Those are the two questions you want to ask. Number one, is it effective for what I want to take this for? Number two, am I actually getting that? So those are the two big questions to answer.
Wow. So when I was at Fox, I covered CBD, and I actually took a few brands of CBD to a lab to get tested. And it turns out that they were over the legal limit, which was 0.02% THC at that time. And one of them was like 3 or 4 times the legal limit, and the other one was hundreds of times the legal limit. It had 20% THC.
Jeez.
But the label on the bottle said that it was pure. It said, I believe it said zero
Mhm,
CBD or zero
mhm,
THC. I'm sorry. So, so the CBD industry is another issue. is that it's just, it's not it doesn't have what was reported to be in there. And I think we got tipped off about that because people had been taking uh drops of CBD under their tongue. Then they got drug tested at work and it came back positive for marijuana. And they're like, what? I don't do weed.
mhm. Right.
So it's scary stuff. You highlighted another study that I'll bring up on melatonin gummies. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, so again, this is in the same vein. This study came out in, I believe, April in the same magazine, JAMA, and they looked at melatonin and CBD in gummies. Gummies are not my favorite thing to take supplements in, and there's multiple reasons for that.
Oh, but
Um,
they're my fave because they taste good.
that's why they do them, right? Because the supplement company wants to keep selling you the supplements, and we have supplements at Nimbus, so I want to keep selling my supplements. So if I do it in a way that tastes good, you're far more likely to keep buying them. The problem with it is most gummies, you're just getting a sugar bomb. To to like I said earlier, to get the accuracy and precision of putting that medicine into a gummy matrix is not easy. It's harder to do that than to put it into capsules. So if you look at some studies, there are certain things that have been shown to have better absorption qualities in gummies. But the large majority of these companies, they're not telling you, hey, we did these kinds of studies, we did absorption studies, we did kinetic studies, we looked at this kind of stuff. So I think it's harder in general to find a quality supplement in gummy form. Not saying that there aren't any, but you have to look at, okay, is this a quality brand overall, right? Like one of my clients, Gaia Herbs, is a high quality brand, and they make gummies. And the gummies are a little bit different. They use all natural ingredients in the gummies, and of course, they do testing to make sure that the potency and the accuracy is there. So this brings up another point in make sure that you're getting supplements from companies that do third party testing, right? And so the companies that do that will, number one, they'll tell you that they do third party testing. They'll have labels like NSF, that's a large third party testing company. USP is another one. And then they'll have things like CGMP. CGMP is a certification that's really hard to get. And so you have to be a top notch product to get that CGMP certification. And then the fourth thing that you'll see is though the really great companies will post their certificate of analysis on the website. So you can clearly see when they got information back from the third party who checked their supplement, it'll show you, it had this amount in the batch, it didn't have any heavy metals, it didn't have any toxins, it didn't have this. That's kind of, next level, but definitely make sure that the USP, the NSF, or the third party testing is there when you get your supplements.
That's so good to know. All right. Anything else you want to say?
No, I just, we kind of, it may sound like I'm bashing on supplements. If you open my medicine cabinet, it would look like a pharmacy. Like, I love supplements, but I
Me
just,
too.
like I said, want to make sure that people are aware that there are pitfalls and how to get high quality supplements. A good place to look for this stuff is like your local compounding pharmacies. They usually carry some of the high quality brands. The brands I personally use in my house are Orthomolecular, Pure Encapsulations, and Gaia Herbs. Only Gaia is the only one I'm affiliated with. The other two I'm not affiliated with, but those are high quality brands. Thorn is another one. Designs for Health. There's lots of them out there, and a good compounding pharmacy usually has access to these types of things. Or functional medicine, integrative medicine providers. Lots of them have e-stores set up where you can do these things. And we're actually launching a program soon at Nimbus to where you'll go on our website and you'll be like, oh, I want magnesium, vitamin D, and fish oil, and we will put it in convenient daily packaging and send it to you. So instead of getting 3 bottles, you just get 1 box. It'll have like, a little pull out reel. It'll have your daily packet in there. You open it up, take it with you, take your supplements, just so people have access to high quality supplements in a way that's more convenient.
Oh, that is nice. What's the website for
NimbusHealthcare.com.
nimbushealthcare.com? And Dr. Harris highlights a lot of different interesting studies on health on his Instagram. What's your Instagram account?
It's Dr. Harris MD. All it really talks about is lifestyle medicine. So I'm not a pill first doc. I'm a pill last doc. And my Instagram is really just showing people that there is power in the things that we do on a daily basis. Things like exercise, sleep, nutrition, stress management can have profound either advantages or disadvantages to your health, depending on your habit set and those types of things.
Awesome. Well, thanks for highlighting those things. Great talking with you, and keep in touch. Talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Ivory. Good to see you.